Hey, what's up, Soul Fam? Today I've got for you a yoga sequence for your shoulders and your flexibility. So come sit down on the mat, spine nice and tall, shoulders are on the back, tuck in the chin and placing the hands together on the knees or together in the lap. And closing the eyes, bringing our awareness inwards to our breath. We're just observing the natural rhythm here. We're not forcing or trying to make the breath move in a certain way. We're going to take a nice deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. Completely emptying the mind of all thoughts, leaving nothing but our awareness with our breath. Just checking in with ourselves emotionally. How do you feel today? Maybe you feel good, maybe you don't feel so good. However you may feel, just accept yourself in this present moment and trust that yoga will bring some peace into your life. If our mind begins to wander at all, we'll just bring it back to the natural rhythm of our breath. And then we can bring the hands together in prayer and bow the head down, and then opening the eyes and lifting the head when you're ready. So we're going to begin sat as we are. We're going to extend the arms out to the side and then exhale, crossing the right arm over the left and binding the arms together, bringing either the backs of the hands together or the palms together for our eagle arms. Just to start off the shoulder stretching process. If you can't bring the palms together, you can bring the backs of the hands together, or even if that's not accessible, you can bring the palms and elbows together and just actively squeeze the arms to the forearms together. Wherever we are, breathe, lifting those elbows up and shoulders pull down on the back. Feeling that nice stretch across the upper back. And then we can release, extending the arms out to the sides. We'll then cross the left arm over the top and bind the arms together as far as the body allows. So again, maybe we have the backs of the hands together, or we squeeze the forearms and palms together. Wherever we are, actively lifting the elbows up and pulling the shoulders down on the back. And breathing into the upper back. And then we can gently release the hands down, and we're going to find our way into our tabletop position. So we have our shoulders in line with the wrists and hips in line with the knees. Belly and ribs pull in. And we're going to inhale, lift the right arm up, then exhale, thread the arm through and bring the right shoulder and cheek to rest down on the mat for a thread the needle. A nice little shoulder opening pose again here. And to add variations, we can take the left arm up and over behind the back, or we can even take it overhead, lengthening through the left shoulder and breathing deeply into the right lung here. Wherever we are, staying present with our breath and breathing into the stretch. And then pressing the left hand back into the mat, we're going to reach the right arm back up and exhale, come back down onto the mat. We'll do the same on the other side. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, bring the shoulder and cheek to rest down on the mat. And then again, if you took some variations, you can take the arm behind the back, or you can extend it overhead just to add some variety into your practice. Or you can leave the hand pressing into the mat in front of you and breathing deep into the left side, into the left lung. And then inhale, pressing into that right hand, reaching the left arm up, and exhale, bring it back down to the mat. We're then going to come into puppy pose. So we're going to walk the hands forwards and sink the chest down to the mat. Maybe you stop about here, that's absolutely fine. We can grab a block to rest the forehead on, just to help prevent straining in the neck. So you can have the block at whichever height to make the pose accessible for you. Otherwise, maybe you can sink the chest down so that we can bring the forehead to the mat. Or maybe you can bring the chin to rest on the mat. Wherever we are, we want to breathe deeply. You can even come up onto the fingertips to deepen that shoulder stretch even more if the body allows. Really pressing the tops of the feet into the mat and pressing the palms into the mat. Breathe deeply. This can be quite intense for some, so the deeper you breathe, the more accessible you will make the pose for you. And with practice, it will become more accessible. And then inhaling, we're going to slowly lift ourselves back up and walk the hands back in. And then we're going to grab hold of our blocks. And we're going to kind of do a puppy pose again, but we're going to use blocks this time to deepen that stretch in the shoulders. So we're going to bring the elbows to rest on top of the blocks. The blocks are shoulder width apart. And we bring the hands together in prayer and then sink the chest down towards the mat again. Maybe the head comes to rest on the mat. And you can deepen the stretch by bringing the hands closer back towards the shoulder blades. Again, remembering to breathe deeply as it can be quite intense in the shoulders here. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat for stability. And then we're going to inhale, gently lift ourselves back up and out, popping the blocks aside. And then from here we're going to come into dolphin pose. So we can come down onto the forearms, and we want the forearms to be shoulder width apart. So you can grab opposite elbows with the opposite hands to check that we've got the right distance between the arms. And then pressing the palms into the mat, tucking the toes under and lifting the pelvis up into our dolphin pose. This is a great pose to build strength in the shoulders. You can bend the knees just like in downward facing dog to make it more accessible for you. It's a great strengthening pose for the shoulders. Breathing nice and deep. We'll be here for just a couple more breaths. Really pressing the palms and forearms into the mat and reaching the heels down to the mat. And taking the gaze up towards the belly button. And then exhaling, we can gently bring the knees down onto the mat and take it back into our child's pose, leaving the arms extended in front to provide a nice little release in the upper back. Just taking a few breaths here, let the body relax, let the shoulders relax. Then bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, we're going to lift ourselves up to sitting up on the knees. We can then shift the hips to one side and swing those legs round, and we'll bring ourselves back into our lotus pose or easy pose to end with a short closing meditation. So spine nice and tall, shoulders are on the back, tucking the chin, placing the hands on the knees or together in the lap, and closing the eyes. And again, bringing our awareness back to our breath and its natural rhythm. And again, we're going to take a nice deep breath in and exhaling sigh through the mouth. Completely letting go, emptying the mind of all thoughts, leaving nothing but our awareness in this present moment. You can always focus on the sound of your breath if you find meditation difficult. Or you can listen to surrounding sounds to help you stay into the present moment. Just a couple moments of silence for you here. Bringing peace to the mind and body. And then we can bring the hands together in prayer in front of the chest and bow the head down, gently opening the eyes and lifting the head when you're ready. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.